You know that feeling when you spend 4 hours studying for an exam, you walk into the test room feeling kind of confident, you sit down, look at the first question, and your brain just goes blank, like completely empty. You know you studied this, you literally read it last night, maybe even twice, but now nothing. Here's the thing that nobody tells you. It's not your memory that's broken, it's the way you're studying, and I'm gonna show you exactly why. So let me paint a picture that's probably gonna sound really familiar. You've got an exam coming up, you're stressed. So you do what every good student does. You grab your notes, you grab your textbook, maybe you open up Quizlet and you just start reading. You read the same page 3 times, you highlight stuff. You might even rewrite your notes if you're feeling extra productive. And honestly, it feels like studying. You spent hours at your desk, you were focused, you didn't even check your phone that much. But then exam day comes and it's like, where did it all go? I used to think I just had a bad memory, like my brain was defective or something. Turns out I was working really hard at studying, but I wasn't actually learning. And there's a massive difference. Today, I'm breaking down exactly why this happens, and more importantly, how to fix it. Because once you understand this, everything changes. Let's get into it. All right, so first we need to talk about what I call the illusion of familiarity. When you reread your notes or highlight stuff in your textbook, your brain starts to recognize the information. You see the same words, the same concepts, and it starts to feel familiar. And here's where your brain tricks you. Familiar feels like knowing, but it's not the same thing. Think about it like this. You've probably listened to a song 100 times, right? You know every word, every beat. But if I ask you to write down the lyrics from memory without the music, could you do it? Probably not perfectly. That's because recognition is not the same as recall. When you're rereading notes, you're practicing recognition. You see the answer and you go, oh yeah, I know that. But on the exam, there's no answer in front of you. You need recall. You need to pull that information out of nothing. And if you've only been practicing recognition, you're screwed. Here's another trap: passive studying. Passive studying is when you're consuming information without engaging with it. Reading, highlighting, watching videos, listening to lectures, all passive. It feels productive because you're doing something, but your brain isn't actually working hard enough to store it long term. I learned this the hard way in my second semester. I spent an entire weekend rereading 3 chapters for biology. I'm talking full days. I felt so prepared. Got a C on the exam. Meanwhile, my friend, who barely studied but did practice problems the night before, she got an A. That's when I realized I wasn't studying wrong because I was lazy. I was studying wrong because nobody ever taught me how to actually learn. So let me teach you. But before we get to the fix, you need to understand one more thing about how your brain actually works, because this is the game changer. Your brain doesn't store information like a computer. It doesn't just save a file and keep it there forever. Instead, your brain stores memories based on connections and retrieval practice. Every time you actively recall something, meaning you force your brain to pull it up without help, you're strengthening that neural pathway. You're basically telling your brain, hey, this is important, keep this. But when you just reread stuff, you're not building those pathways. You're just skimming the surface. Here's the wild part. Struggling to remember something actually makes the memory stronger. I know that sounds backwards, like shouldn't studying be easy if you're doing it right? Nope. If it feels easy, you're probably not learning. You're just reviewing what you already know. The most effective studying feels hard. It feels uncomfortable because that's your brain actually working, actually encoding the information in a way that sticks. So if you've been beating yourself up because studying feels difficult, stop. That difficulty is a good sign. It means you're doing it right. Now let me show you how to actually use this. All right, so first, here's the method that completely changed how I studied: active recall. Instead of rereading your notes over and over, you test yourself constantly. Here's how I do it. Step 1, close the book. Seriously, after you read a section or watch a lecture, close everything. No notes, no textbook, nothing. Step 2, write down everything you remember. Grab a blank piece of paper and just dump everything out. Doesn't have to be perfect, doesn't have to be organized, just write. This is gonna feel hard at first. You're gonna feel like you don't remember anything. That's normal. Push through it. Step 3, check what you missed. Now go back to your notes and see what you forgot. Don't just read it. Actively quiz yourself on those gaps until you can recall them too. And step 4, repeat. Do this over multiple days, not all at once. Spaced repetition is key. Your brain needs time to consolidate memories. I started doing this in my third semester and my GPA literally jumped half a point. Same amount of study time, just completely different method.
method. Here's another strategy. Teach it to someone else. If you can explain a concept out loud like you're teaching a friend, you actually understand it. If you can't, you don't. Simple as that. I used to study with my roommate, and we'd quiz each other. Even if she wasn't in the same class, I'd explain concepts to her. If she understood it, I knew I had it down. And one more thing, practice problems are your best friend. If your class has practice exams, sample questions, problem sets, do them. All of them. Don't just read the solutions. Actually attempt them. Struggle through them. That's where the learning happens. I cannot stress this enough. Doing one practice problem is worth more than reading your notes 5 times. Look, I get it. This method feels slower at first. It feels harder. And when you're stressed about an exam, you just want to do what feels safe, which is rereading your notes. But I need you to trust me on this. You can spend 10 hours passively reviewing it and retain maybe 30% of it. Or you can spend 5 hours actively recalling it and retain 80%. Which one actually saves you time? The one that works. Quick bonus tips before we wrap up. 1. Stop highlighting everything. If the whole page is yellow, nothing is important. Highlight only key terms or concepts you need to quiz yourself on later. 2. Use the Feynman technique. Pick a concept. Explain it in the simplest terms possible, like you're teaching a kid. If you get stuck, that's what you need to review. 3. Study in different locations. Your brain associates memories with environments. If you only study in your room, your brain might struggle to recall it in the exam hall. Mix it up. 4. Sleep. Seriously, your brain consolidates memories during sleep. Pulling an all-nighter might help you cram, but you'll forget it all by next week. Sleep is not optional. So here's your challenge. Tonight or the next time you study, I want you to try this. Just once. Read a chapter or watch a lecture, then close everything and write down what you remember. See how it feels. It's going to be uncomfortable. You're going to feel like you're forgetting stuff, but that discomfort is exactly what your brain needs. Because here's the truth. You're not bad at studying. You've just been using a method that doesn't work. And now you know better. You've got this. Seriously. If this helped you, hit that like button so more students can find this. Drop a comment and let me know what subject you're struggling with most. I read every single one. And if you want more study tips, productivity hacks, and real talk about school stress, subscribe. I post every week. Let's level up together. I'll see you in the next one.